this guy, this girl, this guy, and San Diego. Toy fans, let's do a haul video. Hey toy fans, Rob here. Let's get these guys out of the box and see what they're all about. Hey toy fans, Rob here. I've picked up a lot of stuff recently, and I know a lot of people have already seen the Thanos and Psylocke 2-pack, so I'm not going to do an entire extensive review of this thing. I just kind of wanted to talk about it with you guys, and some of you seem to enjoy that Miles video I just did, so again, we'll take it at a slower pace. I've got 2 camera angles this time, so hopefully this works out. Also, note that my air conditioning is out, so I have a fan blowing on me, and I'm sorry if you can hear that fan blowing in this video, but there's just no way I can do this video without that fan going. So, I did pick up, as I said, the Gamerverse 2-pack recently. I have every Psylocke that has been released pretty much at this point. I'll throw up a photo here of my collection, and I gotta say, this new Psylocke, pretty cool. I like the accessories that she came with. The psychic knife's great. Her new like slashy effects for when she spins were great. The butterfly effect that goes on her face doesn't work very well for me. I don't have it handy right now. But I mean, overall, she's certainly a major improvement over what Hasbro has been giving us in the past, whether it be this version of the figure or the repainted version that was the X-Force version. I'm really glad to have this figure. I think this is probably the best articulated Psylocke that we've received so far. And believe it or not, I think that old Toy Biz one was the second best up to this point. She may not have had the best proportions, but you know, she was really one of the best figures that Toy Biz put out. So I'm glad to have this new Psylocke. This Thanos I could have taken or this Thanos I could have taken or left, but you know, I do like the color scheme. I'm a fan of the Marvel Vs Capcom games. I actually like 3 more than 2. I know that's a little bit hypocritical, but yeah, this is a pretty cool figure. I like the snapping effect. I like the new crown. The only Thanos I had before this was actually the Walmart exclusive one that was just a repaint of the Build-A-Figure. So I am glad to have an actual like classic comic Thanos, even if the colors are slightly off. But yeah, that's all I really wanted to say about this set. If you guys have heard of it, you already pre-ordered it. You already went through the trouble of getting it from Target. And I just think, you know, if you got it, great. Your purchase has been rewarded. And if not, well, you know, there's always eBay. All right, or, you know, they'll probably release a Psylocke on the retro card, and I would love to see a Psylocke that has the Crimson Dawn mark on her face. I think that that would be a really good retro carded figure to make available to us, and I wouldn't be surprised if it happens within, you know, the next year or two. So there is the Thanos and Psylocke 2-pack that I picked up. Another thing I wanted to mention is this Scott Hall. I'm probably the only person who was excited or waiting for this thing with bated breath. This is Scott Hall from his run in WCW after he formed the NWO, but once he and Kevin Nash were on the outs with each other, he started wearing white and black instead of the red and black that he'd been known for up to that point. I do have the Ultimate Scott Hall figure that came out last year, I want to say, during the summer. You can see they're pretty much the same figure. The Ultimate Scott Hall has more articulation. He's got butterflies in the shoulders. He's got toe joints, which don't really do anything for me when I'm not really posing figures using those, but I guess it's nice to have. But this is, of course, the black and white Scott Hall, and I like to think of him as the NWO black and white Scott Hall. He has 2 sweet on the back of his trunks instead of saying outsider. There is another version of the ring gear that Scott Hall would wear when it was red that would actually read Hall on the front of it. So far, we have not received that figure. But the heads are interchangeable. In fact, the head that is on this Scott Hall and the hands that are on this Scott Hall came with the Ultimate Scott Hall figure, and these hands actually came with this Scott Hall figure, and that's actually the head that came with it. So I swapped them up because in my display, I like having Scott Hall in his black and white. I've got a whole NWO black and white collection going. I mean, I have a whole WCW collection going, but most of the NWO black and white look great with their matching colors. So he's kind of posed like that right now. This Scott Hall is probably going to go into storage until I specifically need a red and black Scott Hall, but great figure overall, ringside exclusive. I believe it had a little bit more of a premium price. I think it was like $5 more than the standard retail for the figure, but I do recommend this figure. This is the first Scott Hall that we've received in these colors in about 10 years. There was a Scott Hall many years ago that looked like this, but had an older style head that didn't have the real skin or the better sculpt. So I recommend this figure. I really do. I'm probably the only person who cares, but right now it's in my top 10 figures of the year. Scott Hall is my favorite wrestler of all time. And yeah, I'm just really glad to have him. So let's move on to the WCW figures that I picked up. These have an interesting story behind them. So WCW, Monday Night Wars figures, or WWE, WCW, however you want to call them, they have both company names at the top. This is a series of figures that is exclusive to Walmart, and distribution has just been abhorrent over the last year. Things have gotten slightly better with Mattel Creations putting these figures up on their website now, but right now distribution's better, so I'm not needing to rely on that site as much. That site would have been much more helpful last year, really, when this wave, the Vincent Build-A-Figure wave, completely skipped my area, and I never had a chance to actually get him. I could never get these figures off of Walmart.com, so I really thought that I just completely missed my chance to get these figures. I'm a fan of Bam Bam. I liked him back in his WWF days, and then when I was watching WCW in the 90s, I loved seeing Bam Bam show up. He teamed up with Diamond Dallas Page and Chris Kanyon. They were the Jersey Triad. I kind of liked that angle for these guys, so really happy to have Bam Bam. Honest to goodness, Shawn Michaels, I could take or leave this figure. I've already got several Shawn Michaels figures in my collection. It's nice that this one has the, the European Championship. It's the first time I've had that belt. But really, I got this figure to get the Vincent pieces. So one thing I wanted to do with you guys here on camera today, I have one of the Vincent pieces already. Ways of the Sith helped me out about a month or two ago get another figure from this wave that was not, again, I wasn't able to find it in my area. He had a Triple H, maybe it'll show us on the back of the packaging here. Yes, this version of Triple H, he was able to get that for me in his area. I'm still missing the Eddie Guerrero. Now this is a 1996 Eddie. I have the original version of that Eddie without double jointed elbows, one that came out over 10 years ago now. And there is a new one that's out there with not the television title, I think it's the United States title. I did actually see that figure when I was out shopping, but I just couldn't drop, $75 right there on the spot to get all three of these guys. And I'm hoping with the pieces that I have for Vincent now, I've got his head, I've got his body, I've got his arms. I'm hoping that I can come up with some legs, because I have a few incomplete Build-A-Figures that will actually allow me to complete Vincent. So let's go ahead and cut these open. I'm going to do this right here with you guys. I'm going to start with Bam Bam. And yeah, let's just see how this guy looks. And pardon the noise, I'm not going to be careful about these things. I'm not collecting the figures in box. I'm just going to get the figures out of the box and display them because that's what I want to do. So we're going to get Bam Bam out. And here's Bam Bam. Let's see here. Pull him out of the tray, pardon the noise. We got him there. I had a hand go flying. Pick that up. All right, so we got a hand for Bam Bam with tape on it. Let's see here. We got some other hands for Bam Bam. Let's see what we got here. Just get these all out here. Looks like he's got a microphone too. Curious, this microphone is completely unprinted. It does have a molded WWE logo in it, which is not accurate to the era of the figure. I do have this microphone already with a WCW logo printed on it, so it's very strange that they chose not to put that on this when they gave it to Bam Bam. So, interesting. Check out his head tattoo. Oh yeah, that looks pretty good. I think there were a few more colors in it in reality. But, yeah, it's all right. But, pretty great, man. Got Bam Bam here. And let's go ahead and get that Shawn Michaels open. Or actually, let's get the Vincent piece out of the package here. There we go. The torso for Vincent. It's an NWO shirt. Underneath it, we just have the upper torso for Vincent. Like I said, the arms, I believe, are... No, the head is with this Shawn Michaels figure. So let's go ahead and get that out of the package. All right. We're going to just tear into it. And you inbox collectors are probably hating the way I'm treating this packaging, but it's only because these guys never stood a chance of ever being displayed in the packaging again. Here I am. So yeah, there's Shawn Michaels. He's great. I mean, it's a good figure if you don't have a Shawn Michaels already. I do like the head sculpt. I don't have that head sculpt for Shawn Michaels already, or the belt, as I said, but didn't really need the figure. That particular ring gear, it doesn't do anything for me. I prefer him with the red pants with the black and silver hearts on it, or his white gear with the red hearts. But here we go. Got the Vincent head with his shades. That's pretty great. We got the upper torso. I guess we can go ahead and snap that all together. All right, get on there. All right, well, so Vincent is coming along and putting the sunglasses on upside down now. There he is. All right, so let's do this. I want you guys to join me on this journey. Hopefully you don't mind. I'm going to grab my tub of WWE stuff, and we're gonna find the pieces we need to finish this Vincent figure. So let's see here. As we look through, let's see, I guess I can just show you what I've got here. Got a Toy Biz Sting figure in my collection. I've got another Toy Biz Sting figure in my collection. These are the toys I had from when I was a kid. There's the original Scott Hall toy that I had from when I was a kid. Oh, we were just talking about Eddie Guerrero. Here's the original Eddie from over 10 years ago. You'll notice he does not have double jointed elbows. I think there's some other changes too. I think his skin tone might even be different than it is on the new release. But still, this figure works just fine. I don't need to upgrade it. And I wasn't about to pay $25 just to get a set of black pants, really. So let's see. Digging around in the tub here. Well, nope. I think we're gonna have to go ahead and do a cut. I'm not seeing the pieces that quickly. And we're back. All right, toy fans. So we have the legs from the Commissioner Shawn Michaels figure. I'm not gonna finish that Build-A-Figure. I don't need a Commissioner Shawn Michaels. We got Vincent's torso. We have his arms. So let's go ahead and get this guy put together. I'm gonna put his arms on. There we go. They fit pretty nicely. And, oh, it's not going in. There we go. And let's get his hands off. Just make putting the shirt on easier. Alrighty. So my memory of Vincent in the 90s was that he didn't really wrestle that much. He was always kind of a manager, or I guess they even called him a bodyguard for members of the NWO. I remember him on the outside of the ring, just kind of messing around with people, helping cheat, or, you know, just doing whatever the dastardly NWO did to stay winning. But I can't really think of a single match where Vincent was like on his own or the only one representing the faction. Maybe there's a tag match where he was somebody, you know, in the corner. If you guys know the quintessential NWO Vincent match, let me know in the comments below and I'll be sure to check it out while I still have a Peacock subscription. So here we go. Let's go ahead and put the two sweet hands on Vincent. And there we are, one character closer to completing the insanely huge NWO faction from WCW Monday Nitro in the 90s. Very glad to finally have Vincent finished. I don't think it's such a bad thing that he's wearing these pants instead of the sort of, I don't know, cargo pants that he's supposed to come with. I'm definitely not going to try to track down some extra legs for him. I think this works just fine. If they do a Build-A-Figure set of jeans at some point, like blue jeans or black jeans, maybe I'll go after those if they'll still fit the figure, but happy to have Vincent. Let's move on to the next thing. All right, here we go. The big show. The reason you guys are watching. This is the San Diego Comic-Con set. Again, this is one that I know a lot of people have already. It's got some pretty great box art on the back here. I did play Snap briefly, but not enough to keep up with it. But I am a fan, of course, of anything X-Men, so I had to get this set. Let's go ahead and get these guys out of the box and see what they're all about. All right, so here they are out of the packaging, and you guys don't need me to tell you, by and large, this set's pretty amazing and definitely a great exclusive for San Diego Comic-Con this year. I mean, there's so much to talk about with these guys. Looking at Shanna, I love how they have kind of a sculpted, almost leather-like material, or some sort of hide, I guess we'll call it, material on her outfit. You see all the just tiny sculpted detail in there. Looks really, really cool on this figure. She's got an ability to hold her knife. She comes with a spear. She's got several interchangeable hands. However, she has this rifle that she comes with, which I think is reused from the Kraven's Last Hunt set, but she doesn't have any hands that can hold it properly. She's got two C-grip hands and no trigger fingers, so I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with this, but it will not be getting used with Shawn the She-Devil probably ever. But fantastic figure. Love the long flowing hair. If you guys are still looking for a retro Invisible Woman head replacement, I don't know, maybe try that. Be an expensive way to get there though. And then Rogue. So Rogue has a lot of great ideas. I mean, from the neck down, she looks exactly like you'd expect her to look. She's got the tattered costume, she's got the X logo. I mean, she looks like she did in the pages of that comic. The head is where she does seem to get a little off model, and a lot of people have talked about this already. It does seem like they were going for an Ana de Armas style face, which, given that none of the other rogues have looked like that, I'm not sure why they made that change now. I do like that she's got this necklace. The head is fine, it just doesn't immediately read rogue to me. And then she's got her own spear. She also has a knife that she can wear on herself. And then let's go ahead and bring in Magneto. You can see Rogue compared to Magneto and see the height difference there. Pretty good. We'll bring in Kazar, and he's of course perfectly sized to go along with Shanna. Really still disliking that we have that glove cut on Kazar's forearms. Otherwise he would be this pair would be an absolutely perfect pair of Marvel Legends. And of course you have to have Zabu in there. Zabu, a great Build-A-Figure, but these guys all look really great together. But we also have to talk about Sauron. So let's get these figures out of the way. Get Shawn over here, get these accessories split up here. We have this hypnotic effect for Sauron, which is pretty cool. And he's got these eyes that have little spirals in them, which is a nice touch. So he's using his mutant ability. And we'll just go ahead and plug these on. Carl here. Oh man, I got it off camera, but it's not going to do it for me on camera. There we go. And now he's ready to hypnotize anybody. A great effect. It does still fit the old Sauron Build-A-Figure if you happen to have that one. I thought that was a great Build-A-Figure in its day, a good reuse of the lizard body mold from Amazing Spider-Man. Sorry, it's been on my shelf for a while. You can tell he's got a little bit of cobwebbing there on his hand. Both of these figures are great. If you can get either Sauron, you're going to be happy. I do like that the new Sauron has the hypnotic eyes. I think I might prefer the paint of the original Sauron more. You can also see that this newer Sauron is actually a bit taller than the original Sauron. Give me a minute to adjust my camera here. But yeah, this new Sauron is a little bit taller. Sorry about the jiggling there. And they also redid the cloth around his waist, which I'm not entirely sure why that was necessary. It does look similar. It looks like they just removed the rope sculpt from the existing piece and removed the pouches. So I'm not sure why they got rid of the pouches. I think that kind of added to the figure, but whatever. I don't make those calls. But let's go ahead and try to put this hypnotic effect on the older Sauron and see if it's possible. Go ahead and plug it on there. And it seems like it wants to go on. I don't know why I'm struggling with this effect. There we go. He's got it on. He's ready to start telling people what to do. So, really fun figures. We absolutely did not need another Sauron. I mean, it hasn't been that long since the first one came out, but it is great to give people another opportunity to get him. But overall, this is a fantastic set. I'm a big fan. I'm glad that I've got it. Oh, the inside of the box actually comes with this sort of Savage Land display. So, I don't know if you can see in the back here, behind the NWO, I've got a shelf that I've already cleared off there behind Scott Hall, and I'm going to stick this set in there, put the Savage Land figures in that set, and then have them all fully displayed. I think that's going to work out really nicely. So I guess that's everything, guys. Thanks for joining me. I thought I'd experiment with 2 cameras this time. Thought I'd just kind of walk through the stuff I got, kind of talk about it. I really like the SDCC set. I really like that Scott Hall that I showed you guys. Bam Bam was great. Let's see if we can get everybody back in the shot here. We'll bring in the Scott Hall figure, as crazy as he is to pose with these X-Men figures. And let's see here. Where did Bam Bam get off to? Yep, here we got Bam Bam over here. There we go. You can see these WWE figures are a different scale from Marvel Legends. And then, yeah. So maybe I'll do this again if you guys like me just kind of walking through all of this stuff with you. I know it was a little haphazard, a little unorthodox, if you will. But it was kind of fun for me to just talk about stuff and share the experience. And that's what we want to do, right? That's why we all have these YouTube channels. That's why we talk about action figures. That's why we find each other online. So thanks for joining me, and we'll see you next time.